So our next film, Blow Up, Michelangelo Antonioni, one of, my favorite films of all time. I love it to death. So, yeah, like 60, 66, swinging London, mod, all that jazz, sex, drugs, photography.
Bad haircuts.
Bad haircuts. I do like...
I kind of like them, though. I kind of like that. I kind of, the main character, Thomas, has a look that took me a long time to kind of figure out, okay, do I think he's weird, or do I think he's hot and sexy? I'm not really sure, because he's supposed to be hot and sexy. I mean, come on.
What about shirtless? Is that an improvement or not an improvement?
No, the shirt, he needs to put the shirt back on. I mean, hands down, that's horrible.
I do have to say, I think it's the only time that I ever liked someone in, like, white, they look like jeans, but I don't know they're jeans, but I like them. So, influences this film has a lot of, there are a couple of very sort of obvious ones right off the bat, like The Conversation and De Palma's Blowout, which is a film where Travolta's character hears something in like a soundtrack and he just goes back over and over it again. So those are sort of the obvious ones that, that I think of like right off the bat.
I'll bring it up if you guys don't, because I can't watch this movie and not think of Austin Powers and Zoolander as well. And I think that's another difficulty watching this movie today. It's sort of like this. When I teach Westerns in my classes, I always say that one reason the classic Western declined was after you made Blazing Saddles, after Mel Brooks made Blazing Saddles, you just couldn't look at a Western campfire scene anymore without thinking of the guys sitting around farting. And it just, all of the cliches of the Western that people had grown so used to but hadn't really stopped to think about are suddenly exploded and suddenly become much more self-conscious about them. And similarly with Blow Up, after you've had Austin Powers mocking this whole swinging London fantasy, and Zoolander mocking the sort of, that work it baby, work it scene from the beginning, you recognize, it's no fault of Antonioni, it's exactly, sort of like Norma Desmond with Sunset Boulevard, they've become so influential, they've penetrated the culture so completely that they've become cliches. That is, you go back to the original and you see there was always more there than the cliche version, but it becomes a challenge to break outside of that and see what was there in the first place.